Hello, hello. Welcome to the Compendium of Discomfort. This is Mirku Mirku. I don't know why I have him here. I just got him recently at the Mirku Mirku Kuji, so kind of a lottery. So I decided he can just hold my light. Let's see. Wow. Let's see if I can put him here correctly. But I guess this will do. Welcome. Today we're gonna talk about two movies, a little bit one more in detail, the other one a little bit less in detail, and both are probably the two most language-wise challenging movies that I have watched this year. That's the reason why I want to keep one quite short. And so that's a problem if you watch Japanese movies without subtitles in a language that you know much better than Japanese. It can be a pain in the butt, and especially this one here. This is called The Samurai and the Prisoner in the English language version. It's gonna start in cinema soonish. Played in Cannes. Was one of the big Japanese movies that, together with the other movies that we're gonna talk about. There's one more at least. That's The Sheep in the Box. I will give that a different episode. But yeah, the other one today will be Hamaguchi's All of a Sudden. I mean, obviously teacher and student, basically. Both in Cannes, big successes. And let's talk about it a little bit. The Samurai and the Prisoner by Kiyoshi Kurosawa. His first Jidaigeki, so basically samurai movie. He wanted to do that for quite some time, as far as I understood, but didn't do it because of budget reasons. And here he finally got the money to do something like that. It's set in the Sengoku period, so when everything was basically just fighting to unite the country. And there's a very famous man that's called he's called Oda Nobunaga, and he is angry at Lord Murashige, who didn't behave properly. So now he's basically besieging Murashige's castle, and inside weird stuff happens. And this siege lasted for about a year, and that's the time frame for the movie. So the live action, the actual real life thing seems to be quite a mystery. So a writer for mystery novels took this a little bit piece of history. The writer is called Honobu Yonezawa, and wrote several short mystery things about this time and what happened here. And the thing is, one of Oda's people who gets to Murashige to make some kind of deal to stop all this gets captured and imprisoned. And there we have the Samurai and the Prisoner. They're played by Masahiro Motoki, who you might have seen in Departures or Tsukamoto's Gemini or The Bird People in China. And then we have Masaki Suda, who you might have seen in another pretty amazing Kurosawa movie. That's Cloud. And some other popular stuff. A sexy boy here with a very big beard at the end because he's imprisoned and can't really shave. And the director Kiyoshi Kurosawa, you probably know him. Cure, Pulse, Cloud, Chime, all the good stuff, 3 movies last year. And like I said, he used to be the teacher of Hamaguchi, and was kind of an advisor for a bit because Hamaguchi made his new movie in France, and Kurosawa just recently did the Serpent's Path remake over there before he did Daguerreotype over there and some other stuff. Like he has some connections to France, and yeah, good combination here. Anyway, this one, it's split in several seasons, like the actual seasons of the year, which influence the visual look, the colors of the setting and stuff. Kurosawa tried a little bit to get a style of traditional period movies, like from the 50s or so, and they were usually black and white, so he couldn't really do that. So yeah, he tried to incorporate some typical seasonal colors and stuff. And the funny thing is, the movie is mostly set inside this castle. It's mostly people talking, which made it for me so difficult to understand, because this period movie Japanese is really like, ugh, and not very fun. I had quite some trouble understanding everything. It's fine. I got there in the end, but oh my god, it's not a joy watching it without subtitles. And yeah, we have these 4-5 stories. For example, someone gets killed inside a room, yeah, without any obvious way to kill him, or after an attack where they collect the heads of some enemy generals, suddenly there's one head and they're like, who got this one? And things like that. It all seems very mysterious, very much like divine intervention. That's the big theme here, and it's all pretty great. Like every time one of these events happens, our Murashige gathers some information. It's like, I'm not smart enough to understand what's going on here, so he goes to his imprisoned Sherlock Holmes and gives him all the like evidence he found and the information he found, and it's like, help me. And he helps him, and that's one of the wonderful things besides the divine interventions that keeps these stories together, is this friendship that they start to build up, and it's really fun how they interact. Very good, very nice, very wonderful. Each of these stories has a little bit different cast because other people are important. You've got completely crazy cast, all like super great people like Tasuku Emoto or Joe Odagiri or Kyohiko Shibukawa. Everyone in this movie is amazing. It looks wonderful. They tried a little bit more realistic style, so there are no wigs, just like natural hair tied up as much as you can. And there's this dude from Exit 8 with the pretty yeah, not so full of hair head, where I will get eventually someday too. Yeah, he looks quite funny, trying to get the samurai style hairstyle. Good, wonderful. So I enjoyed it very much. Like I said, it's mostly shot indoors, which usually still looks amazing, especially the prison. Reminded me a lot of the locations they used for Samurai Vengeance, the basement scenes there. Maybe, I don't know, maybe it's the same set, no idea. Look quite similar, but here it's great because you have like these openings in the ceiling where the light from outside comes in and gives us these beams of light coming through, and it's really gorgeous and wonderful. And yeah, it's just overall a really gorgeous to look at movie, even though it's so confined in its setting. So of course it really, really, really gets wonderful, very, I don't know, modern video game-esque. Oh my god, have you ever seen such a beautiful landscape whenever it goes out? Gorgeous, especially at the end. There's a relatively short thing outside, which is so beautiful, so wonderful. Like, wow. Yeah, so it's a very gorgeous, very fun, very good movie. My issue is because I had to puzzle a little bit and had to read a little bit to like put everything together. I can't 100% tell you how much I actually enjoy it, like it, whatever. I definitely have to rewatch it with subtitles because, or at least with my knowledge now. That would probably already help a lot if I went back to the cinema and watched it now. With the knowledge, I would probably understand most of it and would be able to enjoy it even more. But even like that, I thought it's an absolutely wonderful, gorgeous movie. But I love Kurosawa anyway. I love most of the cast here, and I like a good old period movie, especially if it's not just about battles and there's something else going on. So I like this combination of mystery and this period setting. It is very cool. It's a thing about the Sengoku era, which I didn't know anything about, which is cool as well. And it's a wonderful thing. I definitely have to rewatch it. So I just want to really, really, really recommend this movie. And I think it's playing in the US in cinemas quite soonish, so you will probably be able to enjoy it more than I did with subtitles and everything sooner than I will again. And it's just a very, very, very good movie. But that's all I want to say about it. Everything else would just need more detailed analysis and explanation of the separate cases and so on. And I think that wouldn't do any good here and not with my knowledge now. So that would be maybe for another day, another time. I highly recommend this if you have any like interest in historic movies, samurai movies, or just a good mystery. Watch it. So, from the teacher to the student, and holy cow, this one. It's this is cool. Holy cow! All of a sudden, I was completely finished. So this movie completely messed me up. I don't know. It's a quite intense movie. It's by Ryusuke Hamaguchi. You might know him from stuff like Drive My Car or Evil Does Not Exist, Wheel of Fortune and Fantasy, Happy Hour, and all this good stuff. The other day I watched 4 other of his movies, maybe a few words about those, or I will just never talk about them. So just a little bit about those 4. So one is called Walden or Walden. I have no idea what way it's supposed to be pronounced. It sounds like a made-up verb in German for the noun Wald, which means forest. So, it could mean that you forest whatever a forest does. Maybe you play a tree. I don't know. It's a 2-minute movie of a pond and we get some little voiceover. It's more an atmospheric thing. It's not all that spectacular. But then there's a touching the skin of Eeriness, which is a very mysterious movie, and probably Hamaguchi's one of his earlier attempts of doing something more genre than most of his movies. And here we have a teenage guy played by Shota Sumetani, who lives with his older brother and learns some kind of dance, and there's something about a mysterious fish that they found in the river, and there's a girl and a murder happens and all these things, and it's very wonderful, very gorgeous. I really like the atmosphere. I like this whole like dancing, like this performance element, something that comes again and again and again in Hamaguchi's movies and will come back in all of a sudden. And it's pretty amazing and pretty great. The problem is, it's kind of a beginning for something bigger that's called Flood, and so far hasn't happened. I don't know if it will ever happen, because that's like 13 years ago now, and Shota Sumetani is, I don't know, I wouldn't believe that he's a teenager anymore. I don't know what Hamaguchi has in mind, whether or not he has anything in mind. I just noticed that this is too bright and you can't really see that there's anything written. Anyway, it's a super atmospheric, mysterious movie that leaves you very unsatisfied because of its sudden end, and I would just love to see more of it. It's just so wonderful and gorgeous, pretty amazing thing. And then I watched Heaven is Still Far Away, which is interesting movie, maybe a little bit slightly connected to all of a sudden more just by the theme of death and losing someone. Here, man is being approached by a documentary filmmaker who wants to interview him because he has some connection to her dead sister. And the thing is, he can actually see the dead sister's ghost, and she's always around whatever he does. When he's masturbating on the toilet, she's standing outside, staring at the door and being, and all these things. And then, it's basically just one big interview scene where she enters his body and talks to her sister, which is quite wonderful. Beautiful movie. Then we have I Love Thee for Good with Aoba Kawai, who I always love to see. You might have seen her in Wheel of Fortune and Fantasy, Passion, or Meatball Machine. She's great. She's wonderful. And here she's supposed to get married, but she wants to tell her fiancé that she actually had an affair with her ex, and the ex is invited to the wedding, and there's a girl who's spontaneously falls in love with the ex, so she kind of stalks him, and it's all quite weird and awkward, and it's all quite a disaster at the wedding. It's like 1 hour long, a really nice movie. So some short movies. We're not used to that when it comes to Hamaguchi, because often he's more on the longer side. Same here. All of a sudden, 196 minutes. And speaking of understanding issues. This movie is like half in French, half in Japanese. I don't speak French. I studied it for 1 year at school, and so I had to rely on the Japanese subtitle. Someone asked me, like, where did you watch it in Japan with English subtitles? And I was like, there are no English subtitles in Japan because nobody would come, because usually if you have English subtitle screenings, at least when I go there, I guess I'm the only one who actually needs these subtitles because everyone else is Japanese. So, yeah, this will not play with English subtitles in Japan because, too much French. Anyway, so I had to somehow navigate this quite interesting experience, especially when you get to the point where you're like, oh, I don't know this kanji, but I just understood the French word, even though not understanding French. Quite interesting as an experience. So I might have missed one or two details. I mean, when they get to discussions about capitalism and how the care system in France works. So the movie is set in the care home for elderly people with dementia, and it's pretty much about the question: how should you care for these people, and how does capitalism basically destroy humans? That's what I got from it. So I probably missed one or two details. I guess I got the main points, but I'm not gonna go in that too much. So please forgive me if I don't criticize maybe some opinions that are being presented there in this in these discussions that might be, I don't know, questionable, problematic. I don't know. It made sense to me, what I saw. There's another point I think that some people disliked a little bit. That's one character with disability. He is supposed to have autism spectrum disorder. So kind of quite severe autism. Like, he doesn't really talk, he just makes noises and runs around and seems to have a lot of fun. And I don't know if that's in any way realistic. I don't know so many autistic people, or those who I have met were different from him, but I don't know. It might be possible that there are people like that. The actor seemingly did quite a bit of research and talked to autistic people. He met parents of autistic children and so on. So I don't know. I have no idea. I don't really have an opinion on this. I don't have severe issues with unrealistic portrayal of such things because it's still a movie. And I think the main point that they want to get across with this character works perfectly fine. So, if you're a person who's an expert in these kind of personalities and you want to see them realistically portrayed in movies, might be possible that you dislike it. I don't know. I have no idea. I don't have that much experience. So for me, personally, it wasn't a big issue. Might be a problem for you. I don't know. Anyway, so, like I said, it's a movie by Ryusuke Hamaguchi. Let's throw in some of the cast members, since we usually on this program, podcast, YouTube channel, we usually talk about Japanese movies. Let's focus on the Japanese cast. I don't know the French people anyway, but one we have to mention, that's Virginie Efira, probably. I don't know. Most famous probably for her work with, what is he called in Dutch? Paul Verhoeven? Paul Verhoeven? I think it's Paul Verhoeven. In German we always say Paul Verhoeven. Yeah, I don't know what English speakers would say, but yeah, she was in Benedetta and Elle and some other French movies which I haven't seen. Then we have Tao Okamoto, who's quite an interesting choice because basically she came to acting in the Wolverine movie. Usually she's a model and does some acting, and was, for example, in Takashi Miike's Lapless Witch as well. She was in John Woo's Manhunt and some other stuff. Quite a transition from Marvel then to DC. She was in Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice, and then John Woo, Takashi Miike, and now Hamaguchi. It's a quite fun filmography, but she's absolutely fantastic in this one, and I hope she will maybe do more of this stuff instead of more Marvel, because if it's Marvel, I'm definitely not gonna watch it. I'm done with that stuff. I watched too many. I gave up. Then we have Kyozo Nagatsuka, who was, for example, in Teki Cometh, or the luminous woman. Teki Cometh. I think because of that movie, I put him on my list of best actors for last year. Yeah, and then the boy with disability is called by Kodai Kurosaki, who we might know from She Taught Me Serendipity. And so what's this movie about? Basically, it's about a care home for elderly people with dementia, and basically it's a fight between two of the nurses, or one of the director and then one of the nurses, about how to treat the people. Now, the nurse is very proud of old school style, and she thinks training is essential for being a nurse, and the director follows an idea that's called humanitude, I guess, in French, maybe. I don't know French. Anyway, so the approach is to be very, very kind to people and to treat them as humans. And one of the issues here is, for example, that financially it makes more sense to have customers who stay in bed and don't walk around. And on a human level, you want them to be as active as they can and enjoy things as much as they can. And there's a bit of a clash. And another thing here that clashes is this idea of caretaker and person who gets taken care of, because the caretaker is very bad at taking care of herself and is in quite horrible condition. So at one point she's being told to take some time off, and before she got the flyer for a theater play from the director of said play, because she found this boy who she's taking care of, and she was invited, and she goes there, and during the Q&A they have this very rude moment where she's like, you director, you're Japanese, I can speak Japanese, let me just ask my question in Japanese, and we're not gonna translate it in the end, which I thought was quite mean. Someone in the audience actually screams, in French please, and they just don't do it. It's interesting moment. And yeah, from there on, it basically becomes a kind of before sunrise for depressed intellectuals, if we want to explain it in a little funny way. But yeah, there's some instant connection between these two, and they just go on, spend the night together at work, not in an erotic sense, and become immediately best friends. They have quite similar interests. They have these deep discussions about capitalism and how it takes the life away from people. It's like literally a lecture with a whiteboard and everything. It's a really wild scene, because usually you'd never see anything like that, like actual like philosophical or social issues explained on a whiteboard in a movie in a quite long scene. Even like the scenes are generally quite long. There's a lot of talking, and they were like, yeah, if you have this 20-minute scene and you messed up in scene 12, then you just do it again. And yeah, it's must have been quite hard, especially since it's a multi-language film. The two actresses didn't speak the other's language and had to study it. It's funny, in the interview, Hamaguchi was like, yeah, here, Tao Okamoto, she already learned English, so yeah, she has some experience in learning languages. So she was fine speaking French too, and it's quite funny. What I personally really liked about this is that the French lady, Virginie Ifira, obviously speaks with a quite heavy accent, which is totally fine, but they let her talk on a quite high level. Like, I didn't find any blatant grammar mistakes. That was one of the issues that annoyed me in Super Happy Forever, where the foreign characters had a very like cliche foreign way of speaking with very obvious grammar mistakes and all these things. And I don't know, I think just let people speak decent Japanese. It's really nice. I have no idea how Tokamoto's French was. Sounded good to me. I have no idea. But yeah, I think that's really nice. It's really cool that they just kept switching between the languages whenever they felt like, and it's easier to say that in this language, so let's go with this. If you don't understand, please ask. Yep. And just very natural fluidity between the languages. It's really nice. This play that they watched seems to be about men in Italy who basically got rid of mental hospitals. So yeah, they started a law that decided that all these institutions have to disappear, and I think that's where our boy with the ASD comes in play. And yeah, because for example, when they have this scene where they show the play, first, it's a very interesting thing. It's a one-man play, and all the audience members have some kind of music instruments that they can play whenever they want to, and it gives everything a quite interesting musical background. We have to talk about the music in a second. And that's really nice. And then this boy just walks into the play and does stuff there because, that's what he does. And I think that's this idea of just accepting people who are different in whatever world we are, and that plays into this like care home too, because the people have dementia and we should treat them like on the same level. We shouldn't treat them as I don't know, ways to make money, or as less than we are, because they function in a different way. And to like show this, and I think that worked quite well, realistic or not, I don't know, but I think that character conveys this message quite well, because he's different from everyone else, but he just functions. And even when he at some point meets the patients of this care home, there's a quite natural connection between them, and that's really nice to see. So I don't know, for me it worked, but I don't know if there's a criticism necessary. No idea. That's not my field of expertise. No idea. For the ideas of the movie, I think it worked out fine. And what we haven't talked about yet is the title, because these two ladies, when they talk at some point, by the way, they are both Marie. Marie is the Japanese lady, and Marie Lou is the French lady. So Marie tells Marie Lou that she has terminal cancer, and her condition can get worse at any point in time, and then it will be over quite quickly. And that's where the title comes from, the all of a sudden. And so this idea that you basically meet your soulmate, whatever relationships they might have. Some people already go like, they're lesbians. I don't care. I don't care about people's sexuality. It's a completely unsexual. We have some very sexual erotic moment later. It looks like a very sensual maybe scene, but later. So they have immediately this very intense relationship, and immediately it has a countdown. We don't know how much time is left. We will know quite soon. It's not all that much. And this whole movie is based on a book, which are basically letters between two people who were in the same situation basically, and this exchange. And that's why Hamaguchi chose the settings. A lot of stuff came together which he felt fits this discussion, because how do you visualize a letter exchange? First he came up with this idea of distance. That's why you have two characters from different cultures. And but he chose to make it a dialogue rather than letter exchange, and put it into this care home setting, which has nothing to do with the original. But he felt like it gives everything a nice setting and fits the theme quite well. And then they go into all these things what do you leave behind? Is like anything, if you just die and you don't leave anything behind, what's then? And how to handle the situation, how to treat someone with this condition, and it's all really I don't know how you feel about these things, but I've seen so many cancer dramas, and I don't know, at some point it was just annoying, because it's always just this tear-jerky drama that doesn't give me anything interesting on you. You just get desensitized, there were so many at some point. I don't know. There was kind of a cancer drama boom or something. There were so many cancer movies. It was just annoying. Now I haven't seen any in a while, I think. And yeah, let's say my personal situation changed quite a bit. It's not me, but yeah, several people quite close to me. And it's just like, holy cow, just no. Boy, I just sat there for it's over 3 hours, and I was just like completely devastated. It's so beautiful to see this play out. It's so wonderful. This friendship that you just know you don't want to stop at any point, but you know it will stop. And like 3 or 4 times during the movie, I felt like, okay, oh, now it's over. She's dead. And I was always wrong. And then it just kept going for, I don't know. Probably the first time I felt like the movie is... There was one time when I felt the movie is over. And... it felt so short, yeah, because it was short at that point, because we weren't even near the end. Quite funny. But yeah, there were some moments, and at some point they go to Kyoto somewhere in the mountains to eat some instant noodles. It's wonderful. And yeah, they all like find their ways to deal with things. They find something to leave behind in a way. They find some meaning in what they do. I would say they learn to understand each other, and not just these two, but the other characters too. And yeah, just so wonderful how everything comes together. It's just devastating and great, and the performance is also good. And yeah, the very sensual scenes throughout the movie that plays into this the caretaker never takes care of themselves, like doctors are bad patients. At some point she gets a foot massage, and this turns into a thing where basically all the people in the care home start massaging each other and stuff, and it's just like a big orgy of people touching each other's feet. And I don't know, Quentin Tarantino probably finds a lot of joy here, even though it's a lot of old people. I don't know if he's interested in old feet, but it's wonderful. So sometimes it's quite funny, actually, no matter how depressing it gets. Yeah, at some point it's really nice and funny and charming. And yeah, I don't know if I can say much more. Yeah, it's quite interesting how they pick up all these ideas of the like French care system, like how financing works and so on. Hamaguchi had to study himself too, and there's actually an explanation in the pamphlet, like how these contracts work. They're like 5-year contracts and all this stuff. It's quite crazy. But it's interesting. He did his homework, and yeah, he just put so many things together that have nothing to do with the original book, but somehow play well into each other. Like I said, this theater play which he wrote for this movie, and to pick up on this idea of the French mental hospitals, as is the Italian mental hospitals, and this whole French care home thing, and then this idea of this woman who's like terminally ill and how to care for her. Yeah, just yeah. So, it's hard to explain. I probably have to watch it again, but it's a fantastic movie, absolutely gorgeous. I don't know if it's among Hamaguchi's best. I don't know. But Yeah, it's very, very good. Yeah, and this whole theater thing, something like I said, comes quite some time. He said, after Drive My Car, he didn't want to pick that up again already, but then I was like, there's evil does not exist in between, so it's enough time passed. We can go back to the trademarks of the Hamaguchi. It's wonderful. Yeah, and I wanted to talk about the music a little bit. It's interesting. So some people first were a little bit disappointed because the music this time was not by long-time collaborator Eiko Ishibashi, I think is her name. Yes, Eiko Ishibashi, who is very beloved by his fans. And this time, the composer is a man called Samuel Andreev. And there was a bit of a controversy because in his past, according to his Wikipedia, he had some working relationships with some, let's say, questionable, not so popular people who have some weird ideas. And yeah, when this came up, he blocked a lot of people on Twitter and was just like, why can't we just be nice to each other? And last time I checked his Wikipedia, all this information disappeared. So I don't want to go into detail because I have no idea what his personal views are. What I know is Wikipedia said he worked with some people who I would strongly disagree with, but that doesn't mean that he has the same views. So I don't want to go into this. I hope he maybe got the idea that, maybe that wasn't so cool and maybe he should distance himself a little bit from such people. I don't know. Maybe that can be good for his career at least. I don't know. I have no idea who he is, what he does. He's a teacher at a university in Germany. So I hope at least music he understands very well. And if you listen to the music here, I have to say he was the right one for the job. The music is really, really great. It's really beautiful. And yeah, he did an amazing job with a little bit more like percussion sounds. I guess he composed the music for the theater play too, which sounds like people more or less randomly use percussion instruments, which is not random at all, which is very well planned and performed. Yeah, and all other music is really, really beautiful. So he did a great job there. Congratulations, very nice soundtrack. Yeah, I hope he's a better guy in private than it seems. Would be nice. Like I said, I have no idea what he believes or what he thinks. No idea. But yeah, some people are like, I wish Hamaguchi would work with less questionable people. I don't know if he's questionable or he just worked with questionable people. No idea. But yeah, that was an interesting thing when this movie was announced, and when it was announced who worked on it. Some people are like, I'm not sure if this works for me. I'm sure the music works very well, and I'm pretty sure if he has any strange beliefs, none of them were in any way represented in this movie. So it's probably fine. Good job. Well done. Yeah. So it just helped to make the movie as great and wonderful as it is. And I will definitely have to watch it again and again and again. I should rewatch some more Hamaguchi anyway. Great, fantastic director. One of the greatest probably alive. And yeah. Amazing movie. Probably, maybe. I mean, so far, I put him. I thought probably it should be my number one for this year so far, but there's a new Tsukamoto coming. Oh, Yeah, Ryusuke, you get some nasty competition. You beat your master, but oh my god, in my book, can you beat the almighty Shinya Tsukamoto? We'll find out quite soon, and yeah.